As Health Minister Peter Dutton opposed free Medicare, he said,
"There's no sense me pretending to Australians that when you walk through the door of your GP that everything can be for free."
Then Dutton cut $50 billion from hospitals. He cuts, you pay. Authorised by P. Erickson, ALP Canberra. As Health Minister, Queensland's Peter Dutton cut $14 billion from Vic hospitals, including Geelong, Frankston, Dandenong, Box Hill, Ballarat, Sunshine, the Northern and the Children's Hospital. As Morrison's right-hand man, Dutton blocked $8 billion of Victorian roads funding and says he'll cut $350 billion more. When Victoria burned, Morrison fled to Hawaii. In the Queensland cyclone, Dutton fled to a Sydney billionaires fundraiser. Victoria can't risk Dutton. He cuts, you pay. Authorised by Estakos, Australian Labor Party, Docklands.
The money for Peter Dutton's $600 billion nuclear plan has to come from somewhere. So, 20 years to build, to make up under 4% of the grid, and the CSIRO says it will drive up power bills. And he'll have to drive up the cost of everything else to pay for it. So under Dutton, your health costs go up, under Dutton your tax goes up, under Dutton your HECS debt, childcare, medicines, TAFE fees go up. He cuts, you pay.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
Peter Dutton's hand-picked candidate, Scott Yung, is in hiding and currently under investigation from his own party. If they don't trust him, why should you? Don't trust him. Don't vote for him.
Authorised D. Offner, Labor, Sydney.
Under the Liberals, inflation was high and rising. Real wages falling. They doubled the debt even before COVID, and interest rates were going up. Labor has more than halved inflation, paid down $177 billion of Liberal debt, got real wages growing, well over 1 million new jobs created, a tax cut for every taxpayer, interest rates coming down. Fact is, our economy will be worse under Dutton.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
Voters in Dixon, you have the power in this federal election because your local Liberal Peter Dutton is a handful of votes from losing his own seat. Now is your chance to stop Dutton and the Liberals from gutting Medicare to pay for his $600 billion nuclear scheme by sending Dutton a message. Because as Health Minister, Dutton cut $11 billion from Queensland hospitals and cut Medicare. This election, save Medicare and send Dutton a message. Authorised by Kay Flanders, Australian Labor Party, South Brisbane.
Next term, we'll deliver more bulk billing for all Australians and open more free Medicare urgent care clinics, making it easier for Australians to once more see a GP for free.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
In a time of global volatility, we've never needed stability more. But that's not what Peter Dutton is offering. His nuclear plan will drive up the cost of everything. His cuts to Medicare will make our health system more like America. His job cuts will destroy public services. Our economy is only just recovering from the skyrocketing inflation and trillion-dollar debt left by the last Liberal government. There's nothing stable about an Australia under Dutton. He cuts, you pay.
Authorised P. Erickson, ALP Canberra.
I'm Jodie Ballier, Labor for Dunkley. As your new MP, I have hit the ground running, and as a local mum with a mortgage, I know cost of living matters. That's why Labor's delivering tax cuts for every taxpayer, cheaper childcare, the Frankston Urgent Care Clinic, energy bill relief, 20% off student debt, free TAFE, building more houses and 800 free new car parks at Frankston and Cannonook Station. Labor's building Australia's future.
Authorised by Estakos, Australian Labor Party, Docklands.
Don't fall for Labor's lies on health. The Liberals almost doubled hospital funding, and bulk billing was 11% higher than it is now under Labor. The Liberals have committed to higher Medicare funding than Labor, including restoring mental health services, which Labor cut. The ABC has exposed Labor's Mediscare campaign, including misleadingly edited videos, as disinformation. We can't afford 3 more years of Labor or their lies. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal, Canberra. Albo and Allen are double trouble. Labor's budget shows 10 years of deficits, and crime is at an all-time high. Both Labor governments have cut funding for Victorian roads. We can't afford 3 more years of Labor. Authorised by S. Smith Liberal, Melbourne.
They'll be better off under a Labor government than they will be.
What's he really done?
Has he delivered more housing?
No.
Has he made things cheaper?
No.
Has he fixed the cost of living?
$14, thanks.
Nah.
Has he made the country safer?
Nah.
Didn't he spend nearly $500 million on the police?
Yeah, he did that.
We can't afford 3 more years of Labor. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal, Canberra. We can't afford 3 more years of Labor. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal Canberra.
Plans for cheaper electricity, cheaper childcare, cheaper mortgages. The government that's brought a skyrocketing cost of living.
We can't afford 3 more years of Labor.
And this muppet.
Authorised by Ahurst Liberal Canberra. Labor is slamming the door on affordable housing. Their record migration levels are outstripping supply, and Labor's failed to stop foreign investors from outbidding first home buyers. We can't afford 3 more years of Labor. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal Canberra.
As a young police officer, I saw the best and worst of our society. It could be confronting at times, but sometimes we were the only thing between vulnerable people and serious harm. So I learned the importance of always turning up and getting on with the job. Later, I started a small family business. It grew to 40 staff who had families, mortgages and aspirations, which means that you are relied on to balance the books and be responsible. As a minister, I learned that a strong economy and a safe community are central to everything, that you sometimes need to stand up to vested interests and always make decisions in our national interest. The right decisions aren't always popular, but I'm not interested in taking the easy path, because we live in the best country in the world, and I'm determined to get Australia back on track.
Authorised by Ahurst Liberal Canberra. The Greens used to be about the environment, but now their platform is much more extreme, like scrapping the ANZUS Treaty with the United States, cutting defence funding by over 30%, decriminalising hard drugs including heroin and ice, a national treaty including reparations, abolishing the private health insurance rebate, supporting the lawless construction union the CFMEU. Greens senators even condoned vandalism of the Australian War Memorial. The Greens are no longer green, they're just extreme. Authorised by Ahurst Liberal Canberra.
I'm Nathan Conroy, and with your support, I'll get things done for Dunkley.
Authorised by S. Smith, Liberal Party, Melbourne.
Big corporations are poisoning Tasmania's waterways and privatising our coastlines. Native forests are being logged and burned, with species being driven into extinction. Corporate donations to Labor and the Liberals mean this destruction and pollution continues. The Greens are fighting to defend our environment, our coastline and our forests. If you want change, you have to vote for it.
Authorised by J. McCall, Australian Greens, Canberra.
I'm Adam Band, your Greens MP for Melbourne. If you want change, you have to vote for it. The Greens are fighting for cheaper groceries, a rent freeze, low-rate mortgages and a tax on big corporations. Vote One Greens. Authorised by J. McCall, Australian Greens, Canberra.
I'm Max, your local Greens MP. We've secured billions for social housing and used my salary to fund 40,000 free school brekkies for locals. But this is just the start. Right now, 1 in 3 big corporations pay $0 in tax, and that needs to change. So this election, the Greens will keep that out and push those big corporations to pay tax to fund dental and mental health and to Medicare, help for renters and first home buyers, and strong climate action. Labor's tinkering around the edges, and Dutton's LNP will take us backwards. This time, vote One Greens. Authorised by J. McCall, Australian Greens, Canberra. I'm Max, your local Greens MP. The Greens will keep Dutton out and deliver dental and mental health and to Medicare, homes you can actually afford, and strong climate action. Labor's tinkering around the edges, and Dutton's LNP will take us backwards. Vote One Greens. Authorised by J. McCall, Australian Greens, Canberra.
Cut immigration by 80%, 200,000 visas issued in February, 130,000 homeless and 3.7 million are hungry. Australia first.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots, Gold Coast.
There is only one Australian flag that represents all Australians. We don't need to be welcome to our own country. Vote One, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots, Gold Coast. 80 kilometres south of Karratha, at the existing Karratha Airport in the Pilbara, Chinese communist-owned companies, with the help of the Labor Party, built and constructed a private jet airport.
Located close to the coast, approximately 30 kilometres from the huge port of Cape Preston, where over 16 million tonnes of products are exported to China each year. The airport runway is similar to the Royal Australian Air Force runways in Queensland and the Northern Territory, where Australia's fighter aircraft are based. Australia could not repel military aircraft if they landed from carriers offshore. A superior military air force could, in effect, control all of Western Australia's resources in the Pilbara and the North West Shelf gas reserves.
The Port of Cape Preston in the Pilbara in Western Australia is a deep water port. It has the facilities necessary to support and sustain large-scale naval operations in the Indian Ocean. The power generation and water desalination plant, together with the bunker fuel capacity, provide the necessary logistics to support a large ground force equipped with heavy equipment. Chinese state-owned companies have exercised control over all these facilities, contrary to the security of Australia.
Australia is our home. We need to protect it for our families and our children. It's too late once trouble comes to our shores. The uni party of Labor and Liberal only care about themselves. Support me as your Prime Minister and the Trumpet of Patriots will save Australia.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
We can't even have a debate anymore. Labor and Liberals, there's got to be more than the uni party. And there is. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots. Woke destroys Australia. It gets us ready for takeover from China. Disunity equals destruction. Unite Australia before it's too late. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots. 200,000 visas were issued by the Labor government just in February. That's 200,000 too many. Our hospitals, roads and schools just can't take it. Trillions of dollars of your super is invested outside Australia. Bring back Australian super. Throw out career politicians. Make Australia great. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Sue Ellen Wrightson for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
Access your super for a home loan deposit. Cap 3% interest for home loans. Open up land with a 20-minute commute to the CBD by fast train. Reduce the cost of your home. Trillions of dollars of your super is invested outside Australia. Bring back Australian super. Throw out career politicians. Make Australia great. Vote 1, Trumpet of Patriots. By having a 120-kilometre fast train from the CBD, we can arrive at the CBD in 20 minutes and deliver houses to the market for 50% less than they cost in the CBD. Vote Trumpet of Patriots.
Authorised by Anne Faberger for the Trumpet of Patriots Gold Coast.
Peter Dutton is a risk to wages. So do 2 out of 3 people aged 18 to 34. Peter Dutton has voted 8 times against penalty rates. He tried to stop wage theft becoming a crime, and he's promised big business he'll cut new rights that are delivering higher wages. Don't risk Dutton.
Authorised by Sally McManus, Australian Council of Trade Unions, Melbourne.
New emissions standards for car manufacturers could see Australians pay thousands more for their favourite utes and SUVs.
And this is because of Anthony Albanese and Chris Bowen's new proposed emissions standards scheme.
The automotive industry is warning that an extra $2.7 billion will be added to car costs that, of course, will be passed on to consumers.
For 3 years, Albo and Labor have put Western Australia last. Time to put them last on election day.
Authorised by Sandra Burke, Advance Australia, Canberra.
The Greens are not who they used to be.
The Jewish lobby, their tentacles reach into the areas that try and influence power.
A synagogue has been destroyed in a targeted attack.
Authorised by Sandra Burke, Advance Australia, Canberra.
Chinese warships circling Australia, and the Prime Minister says there's nothing to see here. They know you are a weak leader.
President's a deal maker. He's a thinker. He brings people together.
Trump's tariffs have escalated into a full-blown trade war.
He has a business approach that's created incredible success.
Donald Trump today cost Australians another $100 billion with this tariff war.
Our super balance is smashed.
From what Australians have seen thus far, they'd be forgiven for thinking that you are right up Donald Trump's arse.
Authorised by Embray, Hothouse Mag Party Limited, Melbourne.